So a fun one today for you guys. We're taking a look at 10 of the Steam Deck plugins that I can't imagine my life without. I recently got my Steam Deck OLED, been absolutely loving this so far, and these plugins make it so much better. So all of these plugins are installed through Decky, so if you haven't installed it yet, you're new to that Steam Deck family. It's a fairly simple installation. You just need to get to desktop mode and install it with a few commands. If it's too complicated, just maybe look up a video for that. So once installed, it's as easy as hitting the options menu, go to that Decky tab, and then hitting that install button and you're rolling. So starting off the list is one of the coolest plugins that you can get as Animation Changer. So as the name suggests, you can change system animations as if it's the boot animation or the suspend, and there are really cool ones. I have this Love, Death and Robot suspend animation, and as you can see, there are a hell lot to choose from, and every one of them are super sick. And even for your boot animation, you have a wide variety of selection to choose from Stranger Things to Nintendo Switch, Steam Switch, whatever you want to say. You can choose any one of them according to your style. So next up is Steam Grid DB. Once you start dabbling into installing non-Steam games, emulators, and all of that cool stuff, and you need to make it look good in that Steam Gaming OS, because once you add a non-Steam game, it doesn't have any cover art to it. But once you install this, it's as easy as hitting the options menu again on the game that you have selected, change artwork, and then you can change the artwork, the icon, the capsule, all from like community driven cover art, which is like super important to make your Steam Grid look good. Next up is Proton DB Badges, and this is a super simple plugin which just shows how well the game is gonna run on your Steam Deck. It just gives it a rating from gold to silver to platinum, and you'll know in an instant that how well the game can actually run. It has a sleek layout and can get the information you need in a glance. Next up is one of my most favorite ones, and it is Audio Loader. And as the name suggests, you can change all the system sounds from having the basic Steam OS sounds to anything that you can imagine, from Switch to PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, Xbox, whatever you think. I think they also have packs from games like GTA Vice City, Fallout 3, so the Pip-Boy sounds. You can do whatever you want, customize your Steam Deck to your liking. Next up is deck settings, and it is as simple as letting you know what are the best settings for the games that you have installed on your Steam Deck. It will show you how much particular FPS you can get with those settings, so it is really handy to have. And on to the next one, and hands down this is my most favorite one. So if you have to install one of these, go with CSS Loader. This is the one that you can use to change the whole theme of your Steam Deck, from having cleaner to round game icons or changing the whole color theme of the deck itself. So for example, if you have the Steam Deck OLED version, there is one pack called Obsidian, which makes all the grays go to like dark blacks, technically shutting off all those pixels, not worrying about that burn-in. We also have one more plugin if you're worried about burn-in, but that's the next one. So for now, you also have the option of having like a switch like home, or like this outrun theme, which gives it like those cyberpunk vibes, changes the whole color layout. Not a super huge fan of it. I prefer Obsidian because that clean black look is super sleek. And as I mentioned about OLED burn-in, even though you don't need to really worry about it, but if you are worried, or it also serves another purpose. So for example, if you want to download larger games, you have to keep your deck screen on, because if you put it to sleep, the downloading generally stops. So the best way I found to keep it on is using this plugin called Magic Black. So once you toggle this, it just overlays a black background on your screen. You can disable it with the options menu, but it is really nice to have when you are downloading those larger games and you're worried about burn-in. Next up is Magic Pods. So for example, if you have a pair of wireless earphones like AirPods or just your headphones, if you want to see the battery life or control the transparency on it, this is really handy to have, as it gives you all that control without actually physically interacting with your AirPods. Next up is not like a super major one, but this is MU Decky. So if you have installed MU Deck for all the emulation stuff, this is also a nice plugin to have to quickly change around some settings, like having autosave, having some options to change shaders or change the aspect ratio of the game that you're playing. It's just nice to have when you're reliving your childhood playing those OG games. And last but definitely not the least is Junk Store. Only the name says it's junk, but I feel like it's a diamond in the coal mine. So before I actually got to know about this plugin, I installed Heroic Launcher. I still have it installed. So what that does is give you an access to your Epic Games library, Amazon, GOG, all of that good stuff. But in order to play those, you have to go through the launcher. I know it has an option to add the game to Steam library, but for me that was not working for some reason. So I went around Reddit to look for an alternative, and that's where I found Junk Store. So the only con it has is that it only allows Epic Games library to be there, but it works seamlessly as if you're visiting the Steam store. Install in one click and it shows up in your library with all the proper artwork. Click once and you're ready to roll. And as you can see, I have my whole Epic library since they do offer a lot of free games, and it uses Proton to run all of those games, and it runs really well. So I am a huge advocate for Junk Store from now on. And yeah, that wraps up all the essential 10 plugins that I've installed on my Steam Deck OLED. Let me know which one was your favorite in the comment section down below. Drop a like if it was helpful. I have more Steam Deck content upcoming, so make sure to drop a sub. And as I said, I have been absolutely loving this Steam Deck, even though it's like 3 years old by now, but it is a really good device to kill all your backlog, because I know people buy way too many games and then don't have time to play it. This is one of the best ways to play and enjoy your Steam library. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.